Red Dead Redemption 2 has been a long time coming, and in the 8 years since the original game came out, a lot has changed in the world of games and just game design and stuff, so we thought we'd go over some of the newest things we've learned about the new Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, the game doesn't drop until October 26, 2018, so we are still a ways off, and usually, like with a lot of other games, we'd have more information by now, but Rockstar Games is secretive, so we're gonna kind of dig through here. Now, first and foremost, if you played the original Red Dead Redemption, you know that the story takes place in 1911, a sort of a death of the Wild West motif and the decline of the American frontier. That game saw you play as the badass outlaw John Marston, whose family gets taken by the government sorta and is kind of used as a bargaining chip to get him back in the game to be used as a hired gun to take out the members of his old gang. That said, anyone who's played Red Dead Redemption to completion knows that John Marston's story has a finite endpoint, and while, yeah, there are ways to keep that world moving forward, Rockstar decided to go ahead and make Red Dead Redemption 2 a prequel, taking place 12 years prior in 1899. This time around, you play as Arthur Morgan, a member of the Dutch Vanderlyn gang who is actually never mentioned in the previous games. We see several members of Dutch's gang in the trailer, including a younger John Marston with some sweet sutures on his freshly jacked up face, but we can get back around to that stuff later because right now I want to talk about the world itself of Red Dead Redemption 2, because from what we've seen, it looks to be big and beautiful. One thing you can see right from the get-go is that they seemingly put a lot of effort and detail into the world, and it's safe to assume that, as with Rockstar's previous games, there will almost always be something going on in the background and the world will feel pretty alive. The areas and the environments we have seen so far included some densely populated towns, some mountainous regions, swamps, rivers, open fields, and even some snowier regions. Now, we've also seen a lot of these areas to be teeming with wildlife, which definitely helps to make this game, like I said, feel more alive. We've also gotten a glimpse of what is definitely Blackwater in the most recent trailer, the town from the previous game, so that's the closest we've got to a confirmation that at least some of the map from the original Red Dead Redemption returns, but who knows. Now, the wildlife I mentioned previously that is found across the game's open world is actually important because it comes to hunting again. As far as hunting goes, what we know, the game has added a few new tricks this time as far as the actual hunts themselves go down, as well as what to do with your prey once you've actually gotten the kills. First, it looks like there's a bow, which is cool because every game has a bow now, but it works definitely here. But we also have slight info that if you sell your pelts or your quarry, if you get a clean kill with an arrow or a headshot, you earn more money than if you were to just blow them away with a gun. Also, your items can rot and go bad if you hold on to perishable stuff in your inventory too long, so you gotta hustle a little bit. Now, as part of a gang, you have a camp that you can go back to and manage, and apparently the location of this camp changes depending on the story, but you'll have the option to bring your hunting kills back there, where you can ask members of your gang to cook the meat, sell it, and do stuff like that for you. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 also sees some hot new horse technology. In the first game, you could whistle for your big old beautiful perfect horse, and it would just show up, and that's great, but in Red Dead Redemption 2, they wanted to make the loving bond between man and horse be more realistic. You need to take care of your horse and build up a bond in Red Dead Redemption 2. The bond will be important because then you have a better horse, so let's say you happen to lose your horse in some freak weird accident, you need to get a new one and rebuild that bond to get it to be as good of a horse as it possibly can be. The stronger the bond with the horse, the longer distances you'll be able to call it back from with a whistle. Now, horses are perfect angels, and I'm gonna try and do my damnedest to keep my first horse alive as long as possible, but we'll see how that goes. Because we could be talking about horses all day, but we should really get into the characters we're gonna see here. As I mentioned before, the latest trailer gave us a look at a younger John Marston after taking some serious damage to the face, and he gets those iconic scars, I guess. But Marston aside, we also get a look at some of the other members of the famous Dutch Vanderlyn gang. We get a look at these recently named characters like Sean Maguire, Mika Bell, Lenny, and Sadie Adler, but we also see more familiar faces like Bill Williamson, Javier Escuela, and Uncle from the last game. Not only that, but there's speculation it looks like we also see Edgar Ross from the first game, as well as John Marston's wife, Abigail. Now, with your gang members and having that camp and stuff, there's a camp morale system, which we don't know a whole lot about, but we do know that it's up to you to actually manage that camp and understand the personalities of your gang members to keep the morale high. That morale will be affected directly by Morgan's actual actions. Like if your gang is hungry and you go out to hunt some food, you can bring it back for them, which will then result in a boost as their wants and needs are met. Apparently, this doesn't turn the game into like a full gang hideout simulator simulator or anything, but it seems to be a fun diversion for some nice bonuses. But like I said, there's only little bits of information like this trickling out as of right now, like the fact that your hat can also get shot off and you have to pick up your hat or you'll lose it forever and you're forced to buy a new one. Also, in a brief interview with Rockstar's Rob Nelson, he went on record talking about a new system that triggers slow motion deaths in-game. So this, coupled with apparent realistically modeled weapons and apparently deeper weapon mechanics, is gonna make for more cinematic moments right in the gameplay. But it's little things like that, I guess, that just make the game special. That's what we know as of right now for Red Dead Redemption 2. There are little bits here and there, but we think we've covered just about everything. So we want to hear from you guys down in the comments what you're looking forward to most about Red Dead Redemption 2, and also just information-wise and gameplay-wise, what are you looking forward to? We want to see some hot gameplay soon. Hopefully we get it. But you guys know the deal. If you enjoyed this video, clicking the like button does help us out. We really appreciate it. And if you're new, you should consider subscribing because we put out stuff like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.